Hello, you're watching the News Bulletin. I'm Bang from another headlines as usual.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính on October 29th co-chaired the World Economic Forum's Country Strategic Dialogue on Vietnam 2021 for the first time at the invitation of WEF founder and Executive Chairman Klaus Schwab. In his speech, Prime Minister Chính affirmed Vietnam's determination to recover and develop the economy, while emphasizing that the government and businesses need to strengthen the public-private partnership to overcome difficulties in the context of the pandemic. He highlighted the country's socio-economic situation with improvements in October as the pandemic has been basically controlled and the economy has been reopened step by step. The Prime Minister's speech received special attention and response from business leaders. Many regional and global business has highly valued the Vietnamese government decision to shift to self-adaptation to the epidemic. They acknowledge Vietnam's efforts in universal vaccination and disease control as well as the support packages for firms and workers. The country's strategic dialogue on Vietnam is one of the most important events in the WEF agenda in 2021 to support global corporations to expand their investment in business and anticipate new trends in the context of the global economy on the way to recovery.
As the COVID-19 pandemic has seriously impacted the implementation of Vietnam's economic development plans, the National Assembly and government have been proactively and urgently deploying stimulus packages to quickly restore the economy and leverage growth.
The resolution offers support for enterprises and individuals affected by COVID-19 through tax reductions with a total value of up to $920 million. The beneficiaries will enjoy direct tax reductions, which is considered more practical than the extension of tax payments in previous support packages. Resolution number 406 offers a 30% reduction in corporate income tax for enterprises with revenue in 2021 being less than $8.7 million and experiencing a revenue reduction compared with that of 2019. It also agreed to exempt personal income tax, value-added tax, and other taxes in the third and fourth quarters of 2021 for individuals and households in pandemic-hit areas. The state's financial support for businesses and people in the forms of tax, fees, land rent, and interest rates reached about 138 trillion Vietnam dongs this year.
Vietnam is still seen as an attractive destination, and the problems of 2021 do not mean that foreign investors will turn away, according to a recent report by Singapore Institute of International Affairs. Entitled From Crisis to Endemic, Stumbling or Pressing Ahead, the report examines the economies of Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Thailand, which together account for over 70% of overall ASEAN GDP. The report noted that in Vietnam, the extensive lockdowns to prevent the spread of the coronavirus has disrupted not only local consumption, but also impacting the manufacturing and supply chain activities to export markets. The pandemic impact was especially felt by manufacturers of garments and electronics. At the macro level, however, the Vietnamese economy showed considerable resilience. Even amidst the 2021 pandemic situation, trade numbers have remained strong, with Vietnam's total trade value of goods up 33.5% year-on-year in the first 5 months of 2021. This is supported by strong economic recoveries in major markets, especially the US and China, according to the report. The report said challenges and impacts experienced by businesses' operations and supply chains in 2021 could impact the future. Nevertheless, economists forecast Vietnam could still attract some $30 billion in foreign direct investment this year, or 2% rise year-on-year. Vietnamese shrimp producers are accelerating production to reach their export target this year. Shrimp processing enterprises in Cà Mau, Sóc Trăng, and Bạc Liêu, the 3 leading localities in shrimp output and production of the country, are facing difficulties due to the COVID-19 pandemic and social distancing measures. For the firms, it's not only difficult to circulate goods, buy and sell seed, harvest shrimp, but also causes a shortage of workers, so factories have also had to reduce processing capacity by 60 to 70%. Currently, the demand for shrimp imports from key markets has many positive signals. The US and EU markets have eased social distancing measures, reopened, and vaccines are being widely administered. Demand for shrimp imports from these markets, especially large-sized shrimp, is very high from now until November to serve Christmas. The Ministry of Industry and Trade reports that in the remaining months of this year, demand for shrimp in the European and American markets has been bouncing back. In addition, initiatives on tariffs such as the Vietnam-Europe Free Trade Agreement will continue to have Vietnamese shrimp products be competitive in the European market. Vietnam's aquatic product exports are forecast to rake in $8.4 billion this year, equivalent to the figure in 2020, according to the Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers.
The Vietnam Association of Seafood Exporters and Producers said there is large room for seafood exports, but the sector has faced many difficulties caused by the COVID-19 pandemic over the last 3 months. The export value of shrimp is predicted to reach about nearly $4 billion, up 3% year-on-year. Meanwhile, the export of shellfish is likely to earn $1.5 billion. Due to last year's turnover, the seafood exports are predicted to drop 3% to over $3 billion. The association said seafood production and exports will recover slowly and continue to face difficulties until the end of the year due to a lack of raw materials and laborers, and an increase in cost of labor, transport, and COVID-19 prevention. Experts suggested authorities continue to support enterprises in assessing new loans, reschedule debt repayments, reduce interest rates, and issue mechanisms to stabilize prices and production costs.
Assistance from the Unemployment Insurance Fund has been delivered to over 5 million workers affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, the Vietnam Social Security reported. According to the Vietnam Social Security, as of October 25th, around $540 million in cash relief have been granted to more than 4.77 million people currently participating in unemployment insurance and over 383,000 others who already stopped making contributions to the fund. The relief provision is to implement the government and Prime Minister resolutions on assistance for workers and employers hit by the pandemic. The Vietnam Social Security has also confirmed more than 1.94 million workers who will benefit from different support policies in the term ahead. The annual ICI Vietnam Festival, the fourth of its kind, took place in Paris from October 22nd to 24th, introducing films by young overseas Vietnamese directors to the public.
It is the fourth time the annual event has been held to showcase movies from professional and amateur overseas Vietnamese filmmakers. 15 short films were screened at the Le Grand Asian Theatre over 3 days, giving the audience an insight into the diversity of Vietnam's creativity and the unique aspects of the convergence between Vietnamese culture and others worldwide. Films were diverse in content and production, with rich storylines reflecting normal life and fictitious ones, as well as the psychological progression of Vietnamese people and communities across the world. Audiences were also able to interact with directors and filmmakers and share their feelings about the films.
Finance for the film is the biggest challenge. To obtain sponsorship, we need to have impressive scripts. The language barrier is another problem for my work. Though I am Vietnamese, I cannot speak Vietnamese. So I must rely on my actors as well as Vietnamese speaking partners. Fortunately, everything went well. I was touched after taking a look at the script. The film tells a story of a Vietnamese dancer who contracts a serious disease. A tech firm then helps jog her memory and get her back to her artistic inspiration.
Held for the first time in 2018 as an initiative of the Association of Vietnamese in France, the ICI Vietnam Festival aims to uphold the creativity of young overseas Vietnamese in a wide range of fields, from film, music, contemporary arts, and literature to football and cuisine.
The event aims to honor Vietnam's cultural values and overseas Vietnamese directors and artists. The content varies from cuisine to film and other types of contemporary arts. Many programs were held within the framework of the festival to highlight cross-cultural interactions between Vietnam and other countries in the world.
Other events were also organized, including a cuisine festival in June, while a talk with Pulitzer Prize winner Nguyễn Thành Việt is scheduled for November.
The Mekong Delta province of Kiên Giang will receive a number of charter flights going to its Phu Quoc Islands from November 20th to test the process of picking up and serving guests with vaccine passports.
This is part of a pilot plan on reopening tourism for the group, which will be implemented in 2 phases within the course of 6 months. After hosting the charter flights, the authorities will evaluate the plan's feasibility, make adjustments if necessary, and follow the official roadmap for December 20, 2021. Accordingly, during the first phase from December 20, 2021 to March 20, 2022, Phu Quoc will welcome 3,000 to 5,000 tourists per month via charter flights and allocate private experiences within limited locations and areas for guests. The second phase, from March 20th to June 20th, will involve evaluation of the first phase and a scale of 5,000 to 10,000 guests per month if all requirements are met. Allowed international tourists must come from countries and territories with high safety and COVID-19 prevention. They will enter Phu Quoc International Airport via charter flights with a certificate of full vaccination against COVID-19 or a proof of COVID-19 recovery recognized by relevant authorities in Vietnam. Earlier on October 25th, the Airports Council International awarded the Airport Health Accreditation Certificate to the Phu Quoc International Airport.
Vietnam has been topped the list of leading destinations in the world for winter, which has been announced by the oldest daily in France, Le Figaro. According to Le Figaro, Vietnam possesses a treasure of world heritage such as Ha Long Bay, with its astonishing landscapes, and Chiang An Tourism Complex, which is known as Ha Long Bay on land. Ninh Binh also has wonderful mountains that are covered by vegetation overlooks rice fields and ancient temples, said Le Figaro. Le Figaro noted that travelers should not miss the saturation in Vietnam with many unexplored destinations, including Phu Yên province with its long beaches, or the ancient Champa ruins and rituals at sacred temples in Bình Định province. Tourists will enjoy a wonderful and quiet time relaxing at the world's leading resorts in Phu Yên, along with experiences of coral diving and taking cruises around the peaceful waters. If you hope to discover the culture and customs of a country like Vietnam, it's best to visit it during festivals and holidays. These special days also inspire the creation of unique calendars deeply imbued with national identity. One such calendar depicting the festivals held in different parts of the country has been released. The Vietnamese Festivals calendar is a collection of sketches that capture the festive, brilliant atmosphere of festivals around the country. Vietnam is a multicultural country with 54 ethnic minority groups, each with their own unique festivals and celebrations.
The calendar focuses on the best features of festivals around the country. Drawing a set of images is quite an elaborate process. Our production team consists of an editorial board for content and images, and a team of 5 artists.
Every page of the calendar shows a different festival of each locality or ethnic minority group in Vietnam. Details of festivals are accurately represented, and brief information on the festivals is provided to offer better understanding of what they celebrate.
People who use the calendar, in addition to making the day, will also gain an understanding of different traditions around the country.
Amid the appearance of many digital calendars, traditional calendars remain as a cultural and spiritual value of the Vietnamese people. Magnificent and alluring are common impressions hung and waterfall in the Central Highlands province of Gia Lai leaves on visitors. The waterfall, also known as the Cave 50 waterfall, has been dubbed the Fairy of the Forest. Join us to take a look. Let's begin our bulletin with the latest news. First of all, we report on recent activities of Vietnamese leaders. Let's begin our bulletin with the latest news. First of all, we report on activity by Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng. Let's begin our bulletin with the latest news. First of all, we report on activity by State President Nguyễn Xuân Phúc. Let's begin our bulletin with the latest news. First of all, we report on activity by Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính. Let's begin our bulletin with the latest news. First of all, we report on activity by National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ. Let's begin our bulletin with the latest news. First of all, we report on activity by Vice State President Võ Thị Ánh Xuân. Coming up now, we report on activity by Vice State President Võ Thị Ánh Xuân. Coming up now, we report on activity by Party General Secretary Nguyễn Phú Trọng. Coming up now, we report on activity by State President Nguyễn Xuân Phúc. Coming up now, we report on activity by Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính. Coming up now, we report on activity by National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ. Let's begin our bulletin with developments of the acute respiratory disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 in Vietnam. Now we come to latest news on developments of the acute respiratory disease caused by SARS-CoV-2 in Vietnam. We have more news coming up next. Let's take a look. We shall receive an updated news, more in the following. Now I'm going to regional news. Let's take a look. We have more news coming up next. Let's take a look. And that's wrap up our news bulletin. Thanks for watching. As soon as time. The Cambodian Health Ministry's Secretary of State. Secretary. Chưa, chờ tớ một tí. Handed over. Vâng anh ạ. Anh ơi, cái chức danh của cái ông hay bà Campuchia đấy là cái gì đấy hả anh? Quốc vụ.
Quốc vụ Khanh lại còn của Bộ Y tế ạ? Vâng. Bộ Y tế. Vâng. Vâng, tại vì là em thấy hơi lạ lạ ấy. Vâng, ok anh. Vâng. Ok anh. $200,000 doses of Verocell COVID-19 vaccine to Vietnam on October 29th. Ovandin. The Cambodian Health Ministry's Secretary of State Ovandin handed over 200,000 COVID-19 doses of Verocell COVID-19 vaccine. The Cambodian Health Ministry Secretary of State Ovandin handed over 200,000 doses of Verocell COVID-19 vaccine to Vietnam on October 29th. Chị Trang ơi, em xong rồi nhá.